Talk about being a black woman in this industry. How much more difficult do you think it is trying to make it in this game? I'm interested in your perspective on sexism and misogyny, not to mention racism.
As of lately, I've been dealing with a lot of like men being intimidated by me.
Really?
Yeah, as far as like, so I expect every relationship to be like my relationship with DJ Head, or with me and DJ Head manager Salas, or even with you, or AD or T-Rail, where you guys are just welcoming me in, and you guys just want to teach me rather than stepping on what I'm doing or telling me, talking down on me, or whatever the fuck. And it's like, it's not realistic in this industry. Like, people discredit me or feel like my opinion doesn't like there are situations that I've been in where like my opinion is just not valued, or I don't matter in the room because I'm the girl and I'm black. It's been times where like I'm in a studio, and rather than speaking to every single person in the room like they're doing, I will literally get skipped over. And I mean, I don't give a fuck.
But do you think a lot of times that's because, I'll admit, sometimes I walk into a studio with like some rappers I know or whatever, and there's fucking 8 girls sitting over there, and to me it's like, oh, they're groupies or whatever. Like, I don't really need to go talk to them. But it is weird because you might look like one of the groupies.
Yes.
But you're trying to differentiate yourself.
I'm not the 8th girl. So I'll never be in the studio with 10 bitches. Like, if I'm in the studio, they're asking me for feedback, we working, or, I'm not the, oh, shut up, or, what's up, or roll up, y'all. Like, I'm literally in there on some like professional shit. And the majority of the people who have done that before are people who are familiar with me and who I am, but for whatever reason, it's like I'm invisible.
Do you run into it where like you're trying to work with somebody and they just automatically think that this is like an opportunity for them to get laid? You're DMing somebody about a cipher, and all of a sudden they're talking about just come over.
No.
I imagine that happens as a lady.
It hasn't happened, but I'm sure it's gonna happen. More than anything, people know that like they see me standing next to Adam, and it's like, oh shit, this is my time to get in with Adam. I had somebody I had to completely just cut the relationship, so I let them know in the beginning, if we're gonna be doing business together, I don't do any pay for play. I'm not doing nothing that charges people for interviews. I'm not charging people to post them on my page. I'm not charging them to perform or, anything. And these motherfuckers, there was a performance going on, and it was for a big platform, and the caption said, and this is like 8 promoters posted it, the caption said, with a specific amount of money, you can perform for this major network, and it's a really big TV network. You can perform for this TV network, and you can get an interview from Gina Views from @NoJumper, and they tag NoJumper. So I wake up, I see it, my entire like notification is full because it's promoters posting it. So I call the people like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Like I said, I don't want, like, that's playing with my name.
Right.
It's playing with my name with the artists, because artists be like, oh, this all I got to do to pay to get an interview with Gina. Is she taking his money? And then I'm like, if fucking NoJumper sees this shit, they're going to be like, oh, you using our name to, get interviews and stuff. So I knew at that point, like, that was something that I should have just saw from the beginning, because when we had our initial meeting, they were like, oh, do you think NoJumper will be interested in doing da-da-da-da-da? You think NoJumper will interview our 8 artists that we have? And, and I told them, like, oh, no, I don't handle no interviews. I don't do none of that. I got the guy y'all can contact, but it ain't me.
Right.
So I noticed that people like are kind of kind of seeing like who I'm standing next to and who I'm fucking with, and it's like, oh, this is my way to Adam, or this is my way to a DJ Head, or you know. That's what I'm dealing with more than niggas trying to fuck.
Interesting. So what's this thing I seen you doing with Sway?
Okay, so Sway hit up DJ Head and asked Head for some content creators on the West Coast, and Head told him about me and Crystal the DJ. Shout out to Crystal the DJ. Me and Crystal have a show called West Coast Confidential, where we do like the top 10 videos and stuff like that. Anyway, Sway interviewed us, and while we were there, he was like, yo, Gina, you know some spitters out here on the West Coast? So I was like, yeah. Gave him a list of people or whatever. So then he was like, oh yeah, we doing a cypher, you should pull up. So I was like, I produce cyphers. So he was like, oh, shoot, you do? Like, he didn't know, whatever. So he had me pull up. Like I said, I had brought some people with me, and then he had me come back again. And then from that point, he had just kind of told Head, like, whatever I can do to help Gina get to where she needs to be. Kind of like what you.
Oh, okay.
This is what I'm talking about, all these men who just like.
Right. We're so good at empowering women.
Yeah.
Like it's our job.
So he told Head, like, whatever it is that I can do to help you guys put Gina in a place and where she needs to be or whatever, like, I'll do that. And he had a conversation with Head and my manager, and then they came up with let's do a Cypher series for Gina, and that's Ginaverse.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And so when you met Sway, what was that like?
Okay, so I'm standing there in the studio shaking, and like I damn near like wanted to like cry. It was like kind of the same thing when I had met Fab. Well, I didn't meet him, but I had like
What, you breathe the same air as him?
Yeah.
Okay. That Fab air.
I used to work at Staples Center, and he was walking through one of the doors at the BET Awards. I saw him. My body literally jumped out of my skin, and then I like start hiding. And then he walked up, and then I was like, "You're my favorite rapper," and he was like, "Thank you," and it was weird as fuck. But anyway, back to Sway. Sway, it was just kind of like weird because I've grown up watching him. Like, it's super cliche to say, right? Like, oh, I've been watching you on TV my whole life, and now I'm here. But I grew up watching him, and then it was like I'm in the freaking room with him, and he's interviewing me, and now he wants to work with me. So like I kind of like wanted to cry. I was excited. I was like kind of overwhelmed. And then he was just showing hella love. And it was just like, dang, that's freaking crazy. But literally entire time I have a straight face on. Nobody can tell.
Right.
Then one of like the producers came up to me and they was like, you look so mean, like smile a little bit.
That was how I met Sway too. It's like all of a sudden I've been watching this guy for all these years, and then I'm just in his studio and he's just interviewing me. And he's exactly the same as you ever seen on camera. And you're just like, damn, like I just graduated from being a watcher to being a participant. Like it was nothing.
He's cool as fuck, right?
Super cool, yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Sway.
He's everything that you would want to be as a person who's been in this game for fucking 50 years. You know, he's still just cool as fuck, still open to new shit, still just like down for the content, down for the culture. Yeah.
Did you expect him? Because like I've been like having kind of like weird experiences where I'm meeting people and they like not as nice as like I would expect them to be. Like Bryson Tiller threw a menu at me. He probably doesn't even know he did it.
Threw a menu?
Yeah, he kind of like tossed it, but whatever.
Really?
Let me put those back before I mess them.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but like I would expect him to be somebody that's like super freaking nice, and I don't even think it had anything to do with me. He probably was having a bad night, you know.
You got to be careful about just thinking that somebody is the way that you met them, because sometimes you meet somebody might run into me and I might be having a bad day, and they might say like, "Yo, can I get a photo?" I'll be like, "Nah." And then they're going to go for the rest of their life. He was a dick. I saw him at Disneyland. He didn't want to take a photo with me. And it's like, there's a ton of other people who are like, they see me, hey, can we get a photo? Yeah, sure, man. How you doing? Whatever, you know, like, it's so, I don't know. I mean, I do, obviously, like, it's just a human thing to do, that if you're around somebody for 2 minutes and they're a dick, then you're just going to think they're a dick. But also, yeah.
I've been told that I'm unapproachable and that I look mean as fuck. And it's like, dang, that's messed up, because I feel like I'm like a bubbly, sweet, nice person and shit. But people have told me like my first impression is fucking horrible. You just have your guard up a little bit, I think. Hey, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, subscribe. We just hit 200K. We're trying to get to 300K.
Turn us up.
Appreciate y'all.
Let's go.